Welcome, welcome. This is My Favorite Mortgage Podcast. I am Jaimie Booth, a licensed loan officer here in Arizona, and I want to thank a special guest for joining us today.
Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Sam the Mustached One Peel. How are you?
Sam Peel, we've got, I got to say, you're the first guy on our podcast.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, right on. So
yeah, I was going to tell you, and
it's for my species.
Like this is because it's kind of always been ladies' show. So you're our first guy. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, ladies, for letting me on. I appreciate it. It's my first time as a podcaster.
And
so.
that's what else. You're a podcast virgin.
Not anymore, because now I'm sitting here with you. Thank you so much for taking that cherry.
Why, you're welcome. This is a podcast that is designed to help people in the home buying journey from start to finish, the good, the bad, the ugly, the behind the curtain, just kind of give some stories of success, some stories of, some crazy times where we come together. And when you're working with the right people, what we'll do to the ends of the earth to get you to the closing table.
That's the beauty of this business, is that's what it's all about. I like to say I'm like a full service realtor. Like I don't know. Full service. When I say full service, I literally have taken my clients' cats to their house for them, which was probably an hour and a half out of my way, because I have no way to get my cat here. I know we sold the house, but our car's full of birds and big dogs and plants. Can you bring our cat? So an hour and a half later, I'm out in knee-deep Arivaca, way out there.
With cats?
With a cat.
They're in carriers, right? Or were they just...
And the cat was great. Like, the cat was cool. Like, he didn't cry
just
the whole way.
one
cat.
Oh, okay.
But, from Sierra Vista to Arivaca is a good 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's a long drive.
And that's an hour and a half back to my house. Because once you get out in Arivaca, you're basically in, like, upper Mexico at that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Arivaca is an area in southern Arizona. And your parents are kind of out too far in Tubac.
No, I live in Tubac, actually.
Oh, you're in Tubac.
Yeah, I live in Tubac, the beautiful gem of Arizona, all 1,500 people that live there. It takes a village. I love that place, though. Tubac, I can't imagine living anywhere else.
Well, I got to say, there's something that you do that's very unique in your personal branding.
Oh, you're talking about this glorious mustache of mine?
Yes. Okay, tell us the story. What's the backstory?
So I retired out of the military in 2017.
Okay.
And like anybody else in the military, the first thing they do, well, at least back when I retired, nowadays you can have a beard in the military, but second you get out is you start growing facial hair.
Because you can't have it.
You can't have it. You can't do, you can, and your mustache has to be at the corners of no longer than the corners of your mouth, right?
Okay.
So
like old school policeman kind of chips mustaches.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of more like a little triangle above the lip.
Yeah.
And
not very trendy for today's look.
No, not at all. And I was sitting around one day, and my mustache was long. My wife was getting ready to cut it, and I said, I think I'm gonna handlebar it. And that was I think this is version 7 of this mustache, and I think I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
And I took it a step further. I went ahead and decided that this was going to be my logo. Like,
yes.
I want to be known for my mustache. Like, you're about to see, like, my open house signs are going to have a mustache on them pointing towards over here. My
signs for your
for sale
listing.
sign has a mustache on it. I'm getting ready to redo that. That sign, actually, that you guys see with the mustache on it is not my mustache. And it's upsetting, and it hurts my feelings. Like,
no one would have known, Sam.
But now they know.
The cat's out of the bag.
And so we're gonna redo that.
And you're gonna use your actual mustache. You're gonna get someone to draw it, or
I already have
AI?
it done. I already have it done. My graphics designer, shout out Brandon Valerio. He's the one that did it for me. Took a couple pictures of it.
Right.
Now I have my mustache with an arrow pointing somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I got a mustache saying "Turn around to this open house," like, because I want to stand out. Because if you think about it, right?
So cool.
There's thousands of realtors, right? And we all have the same tools, go to the same sign shops, do the same thing. So how do you stand out?
Right. Personal branding is so important.
Yeah, you gotta have something. I may not be memorable. Like, I hope to be memorable in this business, to have, I love Sam, he's just great. I want to be known by, Sam, not just the mustached one. But, if people just recognize me for my mustache, I will take that all day, because that's one step in the door.
And no one else is doing it. So I definitely commend you on that, because Yeah, I see the for sale signs. I'm like, there's Sam.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad it's working.
You can be from far away, not even see the letters, but you can see
you
the
can
black
mustache.
outline of
And
the
it sticks out.
mustache. So it's brilliant. Keep doing that. Yeah. You also touched on that you were in the military.
Yes, ma'am, I was. I did 20 years in the Air Force.
Thank you for your service.
I appreciate that. I've been to Afghanistan a couple times. I've been to Iraq. I was part of the first official U.S. forces in Pakistan. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Kuwait, Korea, Germany. I've been all over the place.
What made you settle in Tucson?
Well, actually, I'm from Sierra Vista originally. So I left Arizona in 1997. Got stationed in California, and everybody thought I was from California. Like, oh, dude, you're from California. I'm like, no, I'm from Arizona.
Really.
You know,
They're our neighbors, but yeah.
Like, apparently, everyone said, oh, your vibe feels Southern California-ish, and I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Whatever.
We're Southern. Yeah.
Whatever. Sure, that's how it is.
Our accents are similar. They're our neighbors, but we definitely don't like to.
I don't claim California.
Even
when I lived in the Bay Area, I still always claimed Arizona.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to go from California to Germany and spend 4 years over there. And that's where like the fun in my military career really started, because they put me out in a fighter unit.
Yes.
So I'm with an A-10 unit out there. I was a parts guy. I was a supply guy out there.
The A-10 bomber?
No, the A-10 fighter. You'll see
fighter?
You'll see him flying over Tucson.
Yeah.
They got flat
Isn't
wings.
Tucson home to the A-10?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I thought it was an A-10 bomber, but it's an A-10 fighter?
It is an A-10 fighter.
Okay.
It's close air support.
Yeah.
And it's probably the prettiest plane in my opinion.
We see them every day.
Absolutely.
Taking off.
You should be thankful that they're here. That's the sound of freedom over your head.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
But that's really where my Air Force career got really fun, because I got out of my out of the office and I started fixing aircraft, and then I got to travel all over the place, and I discovered that I could get anything for any aircraft. If you couldn't find it, go to Sam. Sam will find it for you. It was kind of nice. I developed that reputation, and it stayed with me my whole Air Force career.
Right.
So,
well, that's cool.
I was pretty excited about it.
That kind of reminds me of the Shawshank Redemption, where everyone went to Red, and he could just find you what you needed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you're a good supply guy, that's what you get known for, right? And I didn't realize that that was going to become an obsession of mine. So, I'm a logistics guy. Like, I love being able to get things from place to place, A to B. I see it I see it as a flow chart in my mind all the time, and real estate for me is no different than that.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
You start here and you go to each step, and it's a flow through the home buying journey.
Absolutely.
That's why I call it a journey, because it's not just a process.
No, it's a journey all the way through, and you guys need somebody who understands that, whether it's on the loan side, it's on the realtor side.
Right.
If you don't get yourself a good team, shout out Jaimie Booth and Loan Depot folks.
Thank you.
But
selfish reasons.
all the time. But I hear horror stories all the time about people who just got, as they say, screwed.
I know.
From their realtors, and I'm always like, how did you get screwed
Same
by
thing
your
with
realtor?
loan officers.
Like, you signed the paperwork. Like,
right.
Nobody grabbed you by your hand, put a gun to your head, and say, "Here, sign this $120,000." You know what I mean?
Right.
You knew what
right.
it was. Like,
yeah.
It's your bad for not, doing the work.
I agree.
So at least that's what I think. But then, how do you change somebody's opinion on that?
Well, we show them different ways. And I would say my passion is actually educating. In fact, I have a gentleman that I've been talking to. He's buying a home in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Now, I am not licensed in Pennsylvania. But over the last 2 days, I have went over his closing disclosure, 3 separate loan estimates, and a loan quote from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And he says to me, "You have been the most helpful in this whole process. What can I pay you?" And I said, "Rick, you don't have to pay me anything. I want you to feel like you know what you're signing. If your loan officer and partners have not been doing that, I want to be the one. I'm on a mission to change that view of loan officers," because he's like, "I can't believe that you are the person that is helping me understand these documents." And so it's heartwarming that he's trusted me,
Yeah.
someone that I've never met, someone that is thousands of miles away from me, and he trusted me to provide these documents where I can review them and say, look, you need to go back and ask, what is this?
This question and that question. Yeah.
Right. And he has, and he's like, I can't believe this. So this was actually just this morning we were talking again, and I'm like, you need to make sure you go ahead and e-sign that you're acknowledging, but you need to make sure the taxes are correct, because the taxes completely off by over $1,000.
Ooh. Well, wants to pay Uncle Sam more than than that?
Well, no, it's property taxes. Okay, guys, if you live out in Pennsylvania, I don't know how you guys do it with those property taxes. Holy cow.
Is it bad?
Yeah.
I refuse to live on the East Coast. It's too haunted for me. It really is. It's way too haunted. I'm not going out there. Like.
Sorry.
All right, my bad.
No, that's okay, because I have something for you. But so going back to who you work with and helping you through the journey, it's a mission now of mine. It's going not just a passion, but I want to educate people, whether or not they're using me. If in another state, if I make myself readily available to answer your questions, I want you to feel like you're getting a good deal, so that you don't go back and say, I got screwed.
Exactly.
It makes us all look bad.
Exactly.
Even the good ones.
I'm the same way. Like when clients say, "Oh, I got screwed by my realtor," and they're still working with that person, like I don't step on that person whatsoever, but I try to help that person understand what is going on and what they see, because it's a team effort, and in the biggest transaction of most people's lives, $400,000-$500,000 that they're putting down on a house.
Yes.
I want my clients to feel as though they got the absolute best service ever,
Right.
because like you said,
Transparency.
it's a mission. Right.
Yes.
And, I was, like we alluded to earlier, I was in the Air Force. So I think of everything literally as a mission. There's not
I bet you do.
I really,
Right.
and I don't know how to stop it. Like I've tried, but, trying to unlearn 20 years of stuff.
No, you know what? Embrace it, and that's what makes you really good at what you do.
Yeah. I hope that I'm good at what I do. I've only been in it about a year. So.
Yeah, but you took it, by storm. Really?
Really?
You went, yes. I remember your day one.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you do, because,
you were probably in a fog of too much, but I remember your day one.
I was just busy, and I was so excited to, be in this industry, and I had no idea what I was getting into whatsoever.
It was at the Irvington office.
Yes, ma'am, it was.
And you were sitting at one of the round tables in the back in the break room.
Oh, yeah,
that
my
was
little
your
corner
first
office.
day.
Yeah, it was my little corner office.
Yes.
I remember that. I was like, oh, I got to.
And I was like, this guy is going to be good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll never forget it. But let me just so we play a game here.
Okay.
And you just touched on something that I have, the game, Would You Rather?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's play it.
And this is just one that I asked.
Let's play it.
But since you touched on it, would you rather sell a house that is haunted or sell a house that has been built over a graveyard?
Ooh. I think I would probably have to take the graveyard, honestly, because you can just grow a bunch of sage and keep the demons on the low side. You know what I mean?
You're gonna smudge the whole house.
Seriously. No, I really I don't even
you
like
never
that's
know if
just
it's
such
haunted.
a scary concept.
Right?
I was in Nogales showing a house that was built in the 1800s. It's got the historical tag. Like, I got home and I had my wife sage me. I was like, honey, you got to sage me because I'm pretty sure something attached itself to me and I don't want to bring that into this house. Like,
Before I step foot, I'm on the patio.
I called her. I called her. I was like, babe, I'm not coming in. Like, bring the sage.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. But I do have another game that we play. It's called Pass or Smash. Okay. And so, do I have to explain it?
I'm sure I've played Pass or Smash before in my life.
Smash is good. Pass is, I would rather not. Okay. So, you have a buyer pulling up to a title company.
Okay.
With a brand new truck.
Okay.
Smash or pass?
Pass.
You have a listing appointment that is over 100 miles away.
I'm going to take that.
You can smash. Okay.
I'm going to smash that one.
You have a TikTok lead looking for a $50,000 mobile home.
I'm going to call Loan Depot. I'm going to call Loan Depot and ask whether or not I can get I can make that happen.
Can even do the
because I know there's some tricky stuff to doing loans that are that low, depending on where they are, and people need to know that. Like, if they don't, they could be coming to you saying, "Hey, I want to get a loan for X amount of dollars," and don't understand that there's a back half to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would probably call you guys and say, "Hey, Jaimie, what do you think about this? Should I take it? Should I smash it, or should I pass it?"
And then we would say, is it on leased land or is it owned?
Oh, that's a good question.
And
that's
I would say,
good question.
If it was owned land, I'll smash it.
I would take you on that one then.
Yep.
If you told me no, I'd be like, well, we probably need to find you a different piece of property.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right. So then you've got a pre-approved buyer, and he has sent you his pre-approval letter, and it's from a bank in North Dakota. Smash or pass?
I'm going to smash that.
Okay.
I'm going to smash that. And I'm thinking I'm smashing that because, it's from a bank. I'm assuming, I'm going to make the assumption that it's right. But I don't know. Did I get that one right? I feel like I answered that wrong. Did I answer that wrong?
I have my own reasons of banks, banker's hours, not available.
I learned my lesson buying my house using a bank, and I will never use a bank again.
So you want to pass on that and just send them over to Jaimie.
Okay, yep, absolutely. We're going to pass that. We're going to pass that.
Hint.
Shameless self-promotion.
Yeah, right? Okay, last one, smash or pass. You get a call from Jaimie Booth that the appraisal came in at value, but it has some repairs.
Smash.
Yep. We're going to just
Absolutely.
take care of those repairs,
Absolutely.
get it all done, and close on time.
That's the plan. That's always the plan.
Yep. So thank you for that.
Of course.
So we're in the mortgage business. I am, and this is my favorite mortgage podcast. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about a memorable transaction. Now, you haven't given me any of the backstory, so this is all going to be new for me.
Okay.
So, Sam, tell us about a memorable transaction.
So here I was. I got a lead that came through my phone for a paid lead service that I was in at the time.
Okay.
Comes in, he's pre-qualified, he's been shopping for over a year. I'm like, yeah. So I go out and I meet him. He's an elderly fellow. Okay. For me, like when I meet my clients, if I can't get him to my office, I'll try to take him to lunch, talk to him there. They get a free lunch out of me, right?
Nice.
So, shout out to everyone. If you're listening, you get free lunch if you go with Sam. But in all seriousness, so
go for the expensive lunch.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he did. We go to this little restaurant there in Sarah Vista. I sit down. He orders his food. I order my food. He then orders a glass of wine.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to have a glass of wine with dinner?
Is it after 12 at least?
I think it was like 4 o'clock.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
It wasn't too bad, right? We were at this dinner for about 30 minutes, and he drank a bottle of wine and 3 shots, and then proceeded to...
Holy crap.
And then just proceeded to tell me his whole life story.
Well,
right?
that's because he was drunk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so, I'm
out of
like...
his mind.
And I'm like... and I'm new. This is like one of the first deals I was doing, and I was
how it goes.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna take this. I know that like he's hammered, but I'm still gonna take him. So I drove him home, called him the next day. We go out. I find him a house. Mm-hmm. I take him to it. He says, I want to put an offer on it. I'm like, great. My phone doesn't ring the rest of the day, but then my phone starts ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
And I'm like, why is my phone ringing at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I look over, and it's my client. And
drunk.
I call him back. I'm like, hey, what's up? How are you? And he sounds completely different than he did when he was drunk, because now he's sober, right? And what I didn't know is the whole time that I've been talking to him,
right,
he's not sober. He's only sober from 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's it. The rest of the time, he's on something for his anxiety. He's on depression meds. He's drunk. So I had.
Oh, this poor
I
guy.
had a 6-hour window
where you can make a transaction happen.
Exactly.
And still feel good.
And he was challenged by technology. So he's in Sarah Vista, and I'm in Tubac. So trying to explain to someone on antidepressant meds and drinking how to work DigiSign is. Yeah. It's unique. But so we get through all that, right? Going through the inspections, we walk up to the house. man, this house, it wasn't bad. It was a mobile home. Right when I walked up, the water heater blew. It had the polybutylene lines in it.
Right.
And I negotiated a new roof. I got him all new lines. I got him a new hot water heater. I got everything.
Nice.
Right? And I was feeling good about myself.
Yeah.
I was like, woo, first transaction, and I killed it. My client calls me at 3:30 in the morning. Sam, I'm canceling this deal.
Oh.
I said, for what? He goes, that house is a piece of crap. I said, I got you a new roof, new everything.
It won't be when those things are done.
We got 30 days. And she just said she's going to fix everything. I don't care. I don't want to do it. It's got too many problems. So we canceled that deal.
Oh,
okay,
man.
great. So I don't hear from him for 2 weeks. 4 o'clock in the morning comes around. Hey, Sam.
He finds a house.
Found a house. I want to go see it. Go over there. It's a manufactured home built in like 2019.
Oh, nice. So it's newer.
Beautiful. I mean, it was
Right.
beautiful. I had an Arizona room, a good view. Same thing. Goes under contract, gets to the inspections, cancels during the inspections because if it's not a brand new house with expertly maintained, he doesn't want it.
But he wants it during the day when he feels really good.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he sobers up.
Buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. And he was having a hard time understanding, even after I broke down like the fees that come along with using the brokerage, earnest money, appraisals, inspections. He could not wrap his head around it, that he had to pay for a termite inspection. And I'm like, well, you wouldn't buy a car without test driving it, right?
Right.
Like, you know, unless it's a Ferrari. I'm 100% going to buy a Ferrari without test driving it.
Even an old one?
Even an old one. Because it's a Ferrari, but... So, you know, it's the little things like that you discover in real estate as a new agent. It just boggles your mind, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, you get the successful deals that come through. Like the very first actual successful transaction that I got, I listed a property, and I'm sitting there at my I guess I got to tell you the story, huh? I might have alluded to this one earlier.
Let's finish up with Mr. Drunkard there. Did he finally buy a house?
No. I invested a whole lot of time and energy into this man, only for him to tell me that at 80 years old, he doesn't need to buy a house to die in, and he's just going to go rent a place.
Wow. I'm sorry, man.
I learned something, though.
You
See,
did,
that's the thing,
right?
though.
Valuable lessons learned.
Exactly. And you have to learn from your mistakes as well as your successes. You should learn more from your mistakes or what that person's trying to teach you, you know what I mean? So you don't make those mistakes in the future.
Very true.
So.
Yep, totally agree. All right, let's hear about the next one.
So my very first listing that got accepted, I had an offer that got accepted, right?
Okay.
I was kind of talking to you a little bit about it earlier. 23 has been kind of a rough year. Like my dad got cancer and he was fighting that. And I'm sitting there the day after my dad's surgery. My dad had surgery on the 24th of January, 25th of January. I'm sitting in the ICU. He's, he can't talk. Nurses are there. And I get a text message. I look at my phone. It's like, hey, offer in your inbox. Oh, hey, Pop, you just sit there while this nurse is doing something to you. I'm going to look at this offer, right? So
priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Business has to come first, right? Like I'm a client-based business. My dad's fine. And while I'm reading this offer, I look over and my dad he had a total laryngectomy because he had cancer and he blew a stitch, so he had blood shooting out of his stoma. Right, and he can't scream, he can't be scared, he has no idea what's going on. Oh my
God, this poor guy.
And it's like a fountain, it's right? And he looks at the nurse and he just winks at her. I'm like, damn, Dad, you're like John Wayne, you're like the toughest man on the planet.
Oh my God.
And the whole time,
blood pooling everywhere.
He's got it all over him.
And he's still flirting.
The nurses are in there. He's just flirting with them. The doctors are in there getting crash cards. They're calling codes and whatnot. And here I am looking at him reading this thing, going, "Wow, well, I'd take $245 for that. Yeah, I think they'll take that." You know what I mean? So the very first offer that I accepted was watching my dad get a stitch fixed in his stoma. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Business doesn't stop. I got all the way to the closing table on that one. It was, closing your first deal is a big deal. It really is. There's no better feeling, and
Trying to
real estate's
remember.
like crack. Real estate's like crack. I'll elaborate further.
No.
Once you get a taste of it, not that I've ever done crack. Don't do drugs, kids.
Just
You
that.
want more of it. Like, it was the most electrifying thing that I've
Yes.
done. And in my life, I've done some pretty cool things. Like, I shook Obama's hand. I've flown an F-16, right? I've been all over the country.
And real estate tops those.
I've made 6,000 people at a music festival jump up and down and sing songs by what I was doing. And closing my first deal made me feel better than any of that. It's the most electrifying thing on the planet. And I can't think of anything better. And it was because of that feeling. I'm like, oh, I'm never doing anything else. I love this game. So.
And this game is hard to come into, and once you start tasting that that crack,
Yep.
yeah, those little successes, I thrive on them.
Oh, I
love
them.
it.
I love them.
it.
I love it. And I like helping people. Like, even if you're not my client, I'm going to try to do everything I can to help you.
Yep.
You know,
This is why. Yep.
I've been reading a book called Go Giver. Have you read that one?
No, I need to write that one down.
Go Giver.
Go Giver.
Go Giver is a little business idea story, and it's told as a story. And the basis of it is, in order to reach stratospheric success, you have to give more to be better, to be more profitable, to be successful,
Yes.
right?
I love that. I
And
love that kind of stuff.
And when you start to think about it, and you're like, oh man, I didn't know that I was doing that my whole life, and I've just continued on. You know what I mean?
Are you a middle child?
No, I'm the baby. I'm the young one.
Okay.
I'm the young one.
That's a lot of middle child, that desire and that drive for those wins.
I
to
mean,
be like,
I think it happened to me in the military is when I really started to help people, because like I was 22, 23 years old, and I was in charge of 18-year-old kids right out of high school that don't know anything at all. And you have to mold them and shape them and deal with
Right.
mommy and daddy issues and them being sad for not being at
Trust
home,
issues.
trusted, like everything. Like
trauma issues. I'm sorry, I'm Gen X, so I'm like,
I don't deal well with criers. Let me tell you, I
was the latchkey kid generation. Like, nobody gave a shit about our feelings. Come on.
Exactly. I grew up without the internet. Like, I couldn't put on there having a bad day, and everyone puts a little care face on you. Like, come on. But
Yep. I was picked on today.
exactly.
I'm not being mean. No.
No.
Yeah.
No. I had a guy say
We're a little resentful.
it's okay. We grew up without the internet. No, I had a guy. He
cell phones.
he said he was a pirate, a legit pirate. He's a airman first class,
Okay.
and he walks up to me and he starts crying.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, what are you crying for?
I'm
and
a
he's
pirate.
Like, and he goes, I just got in trouble in my room inspections because they found my pirate outfit. And at the time, Don't Ask, Don't Tell hadn't been repealed yet. And there's pictures of his thigh-high latex 6-inch heel boots.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, and I asked him, I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, I'm a pirate. And I said, what do you mean you're a pirate, dude? And he goes, I'm a pirate. And he shows me pictures of him dressed as I think his name was like Dredge Robinson or something like that. He ran for...
So this was like legit part of his life.
It was. He filed paperwork to run for the president of the United States under the Pirate Party that I'd never even heard of.
And you got to meet him.
I gotta meet him. He's my troop. I gotta teach him the ways of turning 19. So, you learn these little things.
Oh man, that's why I'm so glad you came on, because we've been trying to get you on.
I know.
And business life happens, and so I'm so glad you came on, because I could listen to your stories all day. I really could. Like just you sitting here, or you're at the office and you just tell one of your stories. You're just fascinating. I can't thank you enough for coming on.
I love being on. It's great.
Well, again, thank you for your military service. I have 2 brothers that are also, have served, one that's currently serving, and I can't thank you enough. We know what the sacrifice is for your family.
I appreciate that.
And the tours are very nerve-wracking.
They can be.
And, Arizona, Tucson in particular, Southern Arizona, we're very big on being part of the military. We've got a huge Air Force base, Army base. And then we're not far from the border, so we have a lot of border patrol that had served. So we like to do a lot of extras for our military folks in the way from our VA loan point.
Yeah.
I mean, I will bend over backwards. I will do whatever it takes to get a military family into a new home. And there was something that you had mentioned with our Air Force base, and I'm going to quiz you. Okay.
Come on.
I don't live very far from Davis-Monthan.
Okay.
So in the morning, while I'm outside drinking my coffee, 7 o'clock rolls around. What do I get to hear?
You probably should hear A-10s flying over your head, or maybe even F-16s, because they have those at the airport.
Music.
It's music. Oh, that's right. It's Reveille.
Reveille.
It's Reveille. It's the start of the day.
When I hear that, I'm like, all right, ready to start. And then when I'm outside, letting the dogs go out before bedtime, 10 o'clock.
5 o'clock comes retreat. That means you should stop, face the flag, put your hand over your heart, and give praise to the greatest country in this world.
Yes. And it's so cool that I can sit in my backyard and I hear it, and then 10 o'clock rolls around, and it's...
You get taps. You get taps. Let you know it's time to go to bed.
And it's the coolest thing because, like, some days I'll just have a really bad day or something, and I'm kind of like in my own head. And I'll go outside, and I hear taps, and it just instantly makes me feel grateful that I'm there.
Yeah.
Grateful that I can even hear it, and just have this gratitude where the shit that happened that day, whatever the hell fucked up or whatever.
It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I got to hear taps before I go to bed.
Yep.
Every night.
It's kind of like when you see like the American flag flying in the distance somewhere. You ever notice how like absolutely beautiful that looks if you think about it?
A contrast against the sky.
Yeah, and you just look at it and you go, wow, that's pretty. You know, because we as Americans, we don't stop and think about that anymore. We take this country for granted.
I agree.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
You know, so if you can sit around and you hear taps, right? That should say, oh, the end of the day. But really, in your head, you should be thinking, oh man, there's a lot of people that laid down their life for me to be able to stand here right now and do what I did and say whatever I want, because people have that came before me laid their life down for this privilege, and people take it for granted nowadays.
And it's so beautiful because it's off in the distance. Everything's quiet. You hear a cricket, and then all of a sudden, 10 o'clock on the dot. And it starts playing, and you know, I feel like taps is a more somber song, right? So it's you know, even played at funerals, right?
Yep,
so when I hear it, I'm like, you know what? I'm here.
Yep.
I'm alive. And grateful for the day. And then on the days where I either have gone to bed early or I miss it because it's only for a split second.
Yeah, it's only like a minute and a half.
Yeah, and you have to be outside to hear it. I can't hear it in my house. And when I don't, I'm like, I didn't hear taps last night.
Yeah.
And it's the weirdest thing. So I love that. I love living by the Air Force Base.
It's great.
Forget the helicopters.
And you get a great air show from your house too.
All
you
the
get to
time.
watch it all the time. Like,
all the time.
You know, and Davis-Monthan's great because they got the aircraft regeneration yard that's there with all the boneyard planes.
The boneyard, yeah.
Yeah, that's
when the helicopters go by, and I mean, we have is it F-18s that are
no?
Here,
you have the F-16s at the airport, and then you have the A-10s at Davis-Monthan, and then you have a pararescueman.
What is the really great big ones?
Those are cargo planes. You'll see. I think you have C-130s here.
C-130s
are here.
Yeah, they're humongous.
Oh yeah.
And they'll rattle my windows.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the sound of freedom. Like,
see, you know what? It's so cool to live here, guys.
Some people say
I love it. I get an air show. Exactly what you said.
Southern Arizona. It's great. And then, you know, at any given time, you can be driving. I forget which road it is. It might have been on Keno. I always look up and I always catch like the A-10s doing their
just landing.
They're either landing or I'll catch their demos, their demo practices during the day. If you're lucky enough to be driving around and catch them, like.
Yeah.
I love Arizona. It's wonderful and it's warm.
Yeah, it's been very hot, hot. But that's okay because we're going to have monsoon season next week, hopefully.
I hope.
Okay, so again, this is My Favorite Mortgage Podcast, and we have Sam Peel here, licensed realtor in Southern Arizona. I'm Jaimie Booth with Loan Depot, licensed mortgage officer. And we're going to conclude this podcast, but I really want you back on. So
I would love to
we're
come
just
back.
going to pencil you in and get you back on because, like I said, I'll listen to you all day. I do want to finish with some dad jokes.
Okay, come on.
So I haven't heard these,
Okay.
Andy had wrote them down, so let's see how they are. Number 1, what do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
I don't know. What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
Sophisticated. Sophisticated?
Sophisticated.
You're going to make me, I haven't read this.
Sophisticated.
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 Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go golfing?
So I get a hole in one?
Yeah. In case they get a hole in one. What do a tick and Eiffel Tower have in common?
They're French?
They're both parasites.
I was close.
They're French. You're so bad.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you want to leave us with any words of wisdom? Maybe, you know what? Let's talk one thing.
Sure.
If you're getting ready to separate from one of the military branches, how easy is it to get a VA loan?
It's easy to get a VA loan. And, all you have to have is just an honorable discharge with the VA.
Yep.
And the VA will take care of everything for you.
Along with your lender.
And the military is so welcomed here in Tucson and Arizona in general.
Yeah.
I love my VA buyers. I love my military buyers.
Same.
And I want to get them in a home before anybody else if I can, because I know what they've gone through.
Right.
But B, it makes their life so much better. You know what I mean? So thank you for having me on. Thank you for doing everything that you do for the military, Jaimie. I appreciate it.
Well, again, guys, My Favorite Mortgage Podcast. Thank you to Sam. Please like and follow us for more mortgage tips, real estate tips, just any home buying questions. You can reach us at myfavemortgage@gmail.com. Rate us, or if you have an experience that you want to talk about, please reach out to us. We don't mind answering any and all questions, even if you're not working with us.
Yeah.
We want to help. And you can follow us on all streaming platforms and on YouTube. And thank you again for listening. My Favorite Mortgage Podcast. Bye-bye.
Hey, thank you guys. Bye.